following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello, I'm Carl Seidel, host of The People's View. The People's View is a show sponsored by the Nashua Republican City Committee. The committee meets every second Thursday at the Crown Plaza. And if you want to contact us, we have a website, nashuagop.org. And at the end of the show, you'll see some contact phone numbers or email addresses that you may want to send us your comments and recommendations. Thank you for listening in.
Welcome to The People's View, a program dedicated to discussing local, state, and national issues and their effect on the American people. The People's View provides a platform for state representatives and national figures to present their viewpoint. Whether it's social, economic, or financial topics, you'll hear it on The People's View.
Hello, and today we have as our guest somebody who's running for the state senate, Kevin Avard. Kevin, you were a 2-year representative, and now you decide to go all whole hog and go to the Senate, which is a much larger territory.
A large territory,
It includes wards 1, 2, and 5 in Nashua, and then a few adjacent cities of Hollis, Brookline, Mason, and Ipswich.
Ipswich, right? And Rindge.
And
Rindge, New Hampshire.
Rindge, okay, Rindge. So that's a little bit of walking.
It's a lot of walking, yeah. A lot of driving, and but it's going well. We've been meeting people out in Brookline, also out in Mason as well. We've had some cookouts. It's actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
you know, we're meeting a lot of people.
Yeah, nice people out there, nice country. It's a little bit different,
right.
But you still have the majority of your voters. Are they still in Nashua?
Yes, a majority are. Hollis is a pretty decent sized area as well. We had a recent meet and greet. We had some folks come, Hemingway. We had Senator Smith and Mayor Linda Garcia. So we got some more meet and greets. And it's,
very good. Well, what do you think from the Senate's point of view? I mean, Senate's, I guess, a more intense job is one way of putting it, because there are fewer people with the same amount of issues as the 400 representatives handle.
Right.
What do you think you're going to focus on, or what is your campaign focusing on?
Well, being a state rep really, I think, is good groundbreaking for people to learn what's going on in the House. And one of the things that you learn as a state rep is you're able to listen to a lot of people. I think in the Senate, of course, you're flooded with a lot of lobbyists, and you don't necessarily have your ear to the ground to the people. I plan definitely on keeping close to a few state reps so that I know what's going on. And of course, I still have a state rep's heart, and that heart is for the people. And there are a lot of issues that I would like to address, but one of them is the Medicaid expansion. I fear that if we don't get rid of that, there's going to end up being a broad-based tax or some type of income tax.
To support that, you mean?
Yeah, there's just no way that we can do it. I don't see, unless somebody can figure something out, but the expansion of Medicaid or welfare, whatever you want to call it, some people are calling it welfare expansion, is going to drive up our property taxes immensely. I don't see how we can afford it, especially after the feds stop funding it, if they actually do fund it at 100%. And there's a lot of sentiment about that. I'm hearing that through a lot of people. They're worried. They're worried about the gas taxes. They're worried about even that county tax went up 9%.
Oh yeah, that was a surprise.
Right, and you know, it seems like all the ground that was made in 2010 through 12, 90% of it was lost. And the people are worried because their buying power is becoming less and less. And now that we don't have Market Basket,
yeah.
Have you gone shopping lately?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The zoo.
Right.
But so you're thinking the economy really is the health care costs, the taxing, everything. Do you think that's going to be difficult getting a fiscally balanced budget for the coming biennium?
Depending upon who we get elected, we definitely need to get some people that are looking out for the taxpayers. There needs to be a new wave of people that are very concerned. It all depends on what we have. There are 8 new candidates, I believe, that are running for Senate. People are just tired, and they've said, "Look, I'm tired of it. I don't have the big money, but I'm going to run for office." Yeah. You have people like Jane Cormier, J.P. Marzullo, Kathy Rago, Regina Birdsell, Eileen Landis, George Lambert. Oh gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but you're saying that we have to make sure that the good fiscal conservatives, whether Republican or Democrat, but there's not too many Democrats that are fiscally conservative, are there?
Not nowadays. It seems to me that the Democratic Party that was like John F. Kennedy is gone. There just doesn't seem to be this touch with the people that they're concerned about who's paying the bill. The debt's going up and up and up, and of course the state,
and more people are on collecting money from the state or federal government.
I saw a post on Facebook which was alarming. There were people at either at the city hall or something, and they all had their sandals lined up in front of each other instead of standing in line waiting for their welfare check or their whatever. They were all sitting down on their iPhones waiting for the next sandal to move. And that's frightening, because that's not the America I grew up with. Everybody was responsible. Everybody had a paper route. Everybody had a job.
Had something to do, yeah. And here they're expecting somebody to hand it out, and they don't take jobs that, they may not be as much pay as they'd like, but they're not taking it because the welfare gives them more.
Another thing I'm concerned about, Carl, we need to make New Hampshire attractive for businesses. Right to work. We had it passed in both the House and in the Senate, and it got vetoed. We didn't have enough votes to beat the veto. But it would have been a great opportunity for New Hampshire, where there would have been equal opportunity for people for right to work. And any state that you look where there's right to work, you can see that they're flourishing. Even the union growths are going because there's competition.
Well, even Michigan now has right to work.
Right, so. And it's not full blown. Yeah. It's kind of mixed up a little bit, but exactly. Well, they got to try something different, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that there's a concern that way of what was it, Sturm, the gun manufacturer in the state, locating down North Carolina because it's a right to work state instead of expanding their facility here.
Well, I was at one meet and greet up in Mason, and one of the gentlemen that was talking, he's big company, and he said, look, our company was thinking of relocating, and they never once thought of New Hampshire. That people have to understand that when businesses do not come to New Hampshire, that means your property taxes are going to go up, and people are more and more becoming on a fixed income. The population is aging. The students that are graduating, they're not staying in the state of New Hampshire. They're leaving for better opportunities outside the state. What have we done in recent history to change that? Yeah. Oh, we have expanded Medicaid.
That's not doing it. No. But one of the things that you were interested in when you were a representative was this ability for redress by the voters. Are you going to be active in that if elected?
Very active in that, as a matter of fact. And I really appreciate you talking about that, because there are 28 founded cases in the New Hampshire House calendar that are just sitting there. Nobody's done anything about it. People have been frustrated. There's been some overreach, and there's been some documentation that there's been overreach on every level of our government, whether it's the Attorney General's office all the way to the family courts. People have been crying out saying, look, what's happening? Look, I've lost my child. I've not done anything wrong. Or the Attorney General has stormtrooped with the Banking Commission my industry. And I was innocent. I spent $185,000, and these people are saying, what's going on? They came to the House. They thought something was going to happen. The Democrats killed the committee. And so all these people who voiced something, their voice just went silent. So if I get elected, I make a vow that I'm going to bring every one of those to the Senate, and the Senate's going to have to look at what these people...
We're going to have to get Republicans all the way through, though. We're going to have the majority in the House, in the Senate, and in the governor's office to make it effective. Otherwise, you're going to run into the same thing we did in 2010.
I was talking to Dave Wheeler. I actually had him on my show, Speak Up, and I remember going to him specifically because of Marie Miller. She had a mortgage fraud issue. And Dave enlightened me on the fact that what some of these banking or these mortgage lenders do is they bet against you that you're going to foreclose. So if they can make it so that you foreclose, they get a cash windfall either way. So this poor lady, she came to the redress. Her case was founded. I brought it to Dave Wheeler. He helped what he could, but her case was founded. It's still sitting in the New Hampshire House calendar. And now he's running for executive counselor. And I hope that people would really consider Dave. He's a genuine person who's looking out for the people. Yeah, but there are places like, you see the mortgage specialist sign.
Yeah.
Mike Gill, he's complaining about a lot of people in various forms of the government. And a lot of people are looking at that sign. They're going, me too, me too. They need a voice. They need a senator that's going to listen to them.
Yeah, we have to watch that. We'll get into the same thing that we got into before, where people are having mortgages, though, and couldn't afford it. I heard they're talking now, they restructured the mortgage guarantee system, and now they want to go back to where you don't have to have any money down. If you don't have money in the game, you can't be a reliable person that has a mortgage.
It's as though we didn't learn anything from anything.
Yeah.
I had Mark Conley on Speak Up. He was the former securities director. And he said, honestly, Kevin, nothing's changed. FRM could happen all over again. FRM was licensed. The bank, there's nothing that's made anything changed.
They got a lot of people working in there, but I don't know if they have the smarts for it.
The smarts, or is there something else? I'm not sure if anybody's held accountable. And that's another thing that needs to happen, is there needs to be accountability. Everybody talks about transparency. We actually had people on our committee of redress that was their mantra. Yeah, I'm running on transparency. Well, so am I. What are you doing about it?
Yeah.
And one was a Democrat from Rochester, Sandra Keynes. I'll name names. And come to find out, the town of Rochester was filing a claim against her because they were having secret meetings for 9 years. And she didn't recuse herself, but she voted on that particular issue. And so you get this knot in the gut. There's a lot of things that need to be corrected. We've got to attract businesses. We've got to attract good businesses, solid businesses to New Hampshire. We need right to work. We need to cut the size of our government so that it's not exponentially growing, because when it grows, when new programs grow, the taxpayers have to pay for it. And there are a lot of people on fixed incomes that say, look, my buying power is not what it used to be. And I've gone to some of these other stores to buy, because I do all the shopping. And
well, our current governor seems to be looking for new ways to get money, too. I mean, trying to put a tax on leases and trying to borrow money where it shouldn't be borrowed without the approval of the proper committees. Going around the legislature is something I think they've learned from our president.
Right. There seems to be some kind of mirror effect going on. I've heard people talk about the redress as another kangaroo court, just like they're talking about the IRS. These gimmicks in budgeting with the governor. I know Andrew Hemingway's got a decent plan. He's got an idea. At least he's got an idea. Let's get a flat tax or flatten the tax for businesses. Well, there's a good idea. Why not? Why not make it so that it's attractive long-term for people to invest in New Hampshire? It's a great idea. I don't see that coming from the governor. I see gimmicks and backroom deals. And recently, I think she got $25,000 from the unions or something.
Oh, yeah, there was a couple of super PACs that contributed more than they were allowed to contribute.
Are the unions looking out for the other people, by the way? Are they looking out for the common people
I don't think
that are
so.
Not part of the union?
Yeah, no.
That's why I think we need competition.
I think so. Yeah, you do.
We need competition. We need people that are going to give us their best. So.
Well, you talk about financing. How about financing your campaign with such a large place to go, and people? Where do they contribute to help you out?
What do you got in mind, Carl? They can visit avard4nh.com. That's my website.
Okay.
That's the number 4, avard4nh.com. They can donate directly or donate to 68 Bartimus Trail, Nashua, New Hampshire, 03063, Kevin Avard for Senate. And I would appreciate it if you have a sign location.
And if they want to have time to help you out with literature drops or signs or whatever.
Yeah, contact through there.
And you'll be talking to them And if they want to help you any way possible, they might make phone calls for you. Get the neighbors out.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we have to do all around. We have to get the conscious, the fiscally conscious voter out there.
We need some good turnout this year, and I hopefully they turn out for you because you're also running for state rep as well.
That's right. Yeah.
And,
well, thank you. Well, it's hard. We've got to turn it out, but we will have this on for all the people that are running in Nashua just before the primary, so that people have an understanding of who's running and why they're running.
Right. And
hopefully they'll bring their friends and neighbors out too.
Great. We have a team of people knocking on doors, so please grab their literature I appreciate everybody that's helping.
Okay.
And I appreciate the opportunity to come
and
show.
Hopefully after the primary, we'll have you back again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin, and
Thank you, Carl.
good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. And I want to remind the people that we're going to have a fundraiser for all the candidates, the stakeout. It's called September 13th at the Crown Plaza. Look at the NashuaGOP.org website, and you'll get the more details on that outlet and the people that we'll have speaking at there, including all the representatives that are running. Thank you very much for tuning in.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.